This video is brought to you by soccerpro.com.
What's going on, everybody? Shooting Thrill here, and today we'll be checking out the new Nike Hypervenom Phantom 2. Now, these are a very new release, and we're also going to compare them to their predecessors, the Nike Hypervenom Phantom 1. So let's go. The Nike Hypervenom Phantom 2s have a completely redesigned upper and have the same sole plate as seen in the previous Hypervenoms. Now, the upper is completely different, which is something I was slightly disappointed in because I was a huge fan of the Nike skin. Nike have said that this upper is still the Nike skin, however it's quite different from the predecessors. It's not quite as stretchy, it's a little bit more uncomfortable, and it really holds your foot nice and snug. Sometimes in my case that was a little too snug. The Flywire does a great job of locking down your foot when you're moving, dribbling, passing, whatever you're doing in the game, and it's something that really does an excellent job, and this is something Nike has nailed since day one when it comes to introducing Flywire. Another new introduction that Nike has put into the Hypervenom Phantoms is the dynamic fit collar, which we've seen in 2 of the other boots that Nike has released. The dynamic fit collar is something I'm a massive fan of, and they actually changed the one thing that was really bothering everyone who wore them, which was the placement of the seam of the dynamic fit collar. They placed it more to the medial side of your ankle rather than right behind your Achilles tendon, which caused many blisters on many players. Now, this movement of the seam really does an excellent job. It allows no blisters, no pressure points, and it really only makes this dynamic fit collar better. Now, the sole plate is quite similar to the previous Hypervenom, the only difference being the amount of flexibility. This is something that I was very pleased with. It allows you to change directions more freely, and you don't really feel as though the boot is restricting your foot's movement. It's a lot more natural, and the conical studs do an excellent job of allowing you to turn while stuck in the ground, which is something I'm a very big fan of. Now, these boots all around are much different than the Hypervenom Phantom ones, but they do have some very similar feelings about them as far as the fit. The fit is very similar, the sole plate is identical, and really the main difference is the uppers feel and the dynamic fit collar. If you're a fan of the dynamic fit collar, I would definitely suggest this boot. If you're not, that's fine. Take the Hypervenom finish, which is the exact same thing as this, almost, minus the dynamic fit collar. Now, the upper is something I wanted to touch on. I really had a love-hate relationship with this. I loved how it gave me that lockdown, but they weren't the most comfortable boots I've ever worn. So they did lose points in my book. However, I think this is an excellent release, and Nike really are stepping their game up. If you're a big Hypervenom fan, and you want to see some improvements, I would check out the new Hypervenom Phantom 2. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Shootin' Thrill, and I'm out.